Hey kids, how we doing? Let's talk Seahawks. I'm doing this now. Today's Tuesday. I'm doing this now because obviously Thursday's a holiday. I will probably be. I won't really have time to do it Thursday. So I'm doing this now, and I plan to do weekly picks tomorrow. But I wanted to get this out of the way. And honest to God, there's not a whole lot. This hopefully isn't going to be a very long video because there's really not much to say about the Seattle game, other than I think we're going to get our ass handed to us. I really do. I watched I was watching Monday Night Football last night. Obviously, great game. The Rams, man, the Rams are looking. They had a little bit of a rough spell there in the middle, like especially that game they dropped to Miami, but. They looked pretty damn convincing last night. And I know I tweeted this, but I wanted to point out on here too. This is what I've been saying for years and years and years. You don't, every time a team, particularly Philly, I hear it from Philly fans quite a bit. Every time they're playing bad, they're like, "Oh, well, it's because Doug got away from the run game. You can't win a game without run game. You can't win a game without running the football." Yes, you can, and last night was a perfect example of it. I think going into halftime, if I remember correctly, the Rams had 5 total rushing yards. And they ended up winning the game. And I'd have to look up the numbers, but they didn't really run much in the second half either. So there you go. It's possible. You just, if the passing game works, the passing game works. And sometimes the passing game just works, especially when you're playing a stout run defense like, say, Tampa Bay. So at one point during Monday Night Football, they were doing this thing, the preview for next week, and it was obviously the Philly-Seattle game. And it was cool because, they try to, throw these great plays together from both teams, and, you try and make it look like it's going to be entertaining to watch, even though the game's probably going to be a complete and utter shit show. It was interesting. And then, Levy was talking about it for a while, and they were like, "Oh, it's talking about it like it's going to be this great game." And you know what? Hey, hopefully they're right. Hopefully it is. I just don't think it will be. The couple people I've seen, and I've told them this on Twitter, that, oh, maybe, who knows, maybe we'll win next week. No. Look, I could see us possibly upsetting like Green Bay or maybe New Orleans. Not Seattle. I don't know why, but this franchise has been Seattle's bitch for years. It's like every single time we play them, even when the Eagles are good, I don't know why Seattle's just like the boogeyman team, man. We cannot beat them. That was one of our losses in 2017 was to Seattle. I don't know what it is, and I think part of it is, this has been one of the legitimate knocks on Jim Schwartz over the years, is that he does not scheme well, per se, against mobile quarterbacks. So I don't see what do we have to do to win this game. We've got to worry about Carlos Hyde. I don't think Chris Carson's back yet. Metcalf on one side, Lockett on the other side. And then you've somehow got to make sure that Russ doesn't get out of the pocket and run. I don't know. It's just, oh my God, it's so much for a defense to cover. And Seattle's defense looked convincing last week. So against Arizona's air raid offense. So I don't know how well I don't know how well our offense is going to do against it. I mean, like it or not, Seattle's got good defensive pieces. Their secondary is a little on the weaker side. That's definitely the weakness of that team is the secondary. Their pass rush hasn't been outstanding per se, but they've got stud linebackers. And our offensive line hasn't played very well as of late. So I don't know. I think Sanders is going to have to be a big part of this game. This is one of those games where I think you're definitely going to have to stay honest to the run, because what happens when you stay honest to the run is you keep the linebackers pushed forward because they're wanting to try and stay up so they can stop the run. So you can get little crossing patterns in behind the linebackers before you get to the secondary. And I think that would be a key to success, particularly against this defense. Because what happens against a team like this is if you don't, especially when you have a hampered offense like we do, what happens when you don't stick to the run, or at least make them play the run honestly, is the linebackers will start drifting back, and they'll start setting back in holes, and the underneath routes have a tendency not to open up so much. And look, Bobby Wagner and KJ Wright are pretty solid coverage linebackers, so that's an issue. So you got to run the ball enough to keep them honest. And we've got deep threats. Rager and Hightower. Got to try and take advantage of that secondary, because that is definitely the weakest part of that team is their secondary. And look, I'm not saying we can't do that. I'm not saying our offense can't show up and take advantage of this defense. My problem is not offense. Offense is a big problem, obviously, because it has sucked. But my problem in this particular game is the defense, because Seattle's offense is high-powered. So I don't know. I don't see us winning this game. I really don't. Yeah, I just don't. I don't even have a whole lot more breakdown for you, honestly. I don't think our corners can hang with these receivers. Slay probably can, but you put Slay on who? Lockett maybe, because I don't like the size matchup necessarily against Metcalf. But then the problem is, who do you have guarding him? And even you take your best, I would say Metcalf is probably their best receiver, as much as I love Tyler Lockett. So you take your best and put him on their best. All right, Slay on Metcalf. Still not sure I like that size matchup. But do you trust Devontae Maddox to guard Tyler Lockett consistently? Because I don't think I do. I don't think I trust that. But that's the only option at this point. So who the hell even knows? It's I'm not expecting a good game. I don't think it's going to be pretty. But who knows? Hey, you know what? Maybe Philly will come out and prove me wrong. I hope to God they do. I just don't think they will, because Seattle's the boogeyman team for us. I don't know how long it's been since we've actually beaten the Seahawks. I can tell you Pete Carroll in his tenure has never lost to Philadelphia. So take that for what you will, at the very least. Let's see. There was something else I wanted to point out. What else was it? I'll be back for picks tomorrow. I don't know. Drinking game, by the way. Philadelphia Eagles drinking game. Every time, every once in a while, just scroll through Philly Twitter and take a shot every single time you see somebody bitching about the fact that we didn't draft DK Metcalf. You'll be plastered by halftime. Have fun. Peace out. See you tomorrow for picks.